acronym we use for that called DAVISS, D-A-V-I-S-S. That's when we teach at SEER. So the first one is distillation. We already talked about the 3 stills. Does anyone have any questions or comments on those? Okay. What would some examples of atmospherics be?
Rain.
Yeah.
Snow.
Rain, sleet, snow, all those things are atmospherics. What about dew? Dew's a big one. What are some ways we can actually get dew or procure it?
Soak it up off a bandana off the grass. Or
Yeah, absolutely. You know, take your t-shirt, your bandana, wrap it around your legs, walk through some tall grass, take it, squeeze it out, keep doing that. A sponge on your tarp, whatever. Lots of different ways to do it. Banging stuff out into a container. Dew is very good. It's free. You don't have to work for it. It's all over the place. So that's a good thing you can use. V is vegetation. So we'll talk about that for a minute. Everyone's seen on Tarzan, right? The guy goes up and he takes the vine and he drinks out of the water, right? Think that's realistic? It is, actually, surprisingly. This is why I brought that up. But if you take a vine, you chop it at a 45, depending on the environment you're in, obviously this doesn't apply here, you can actually wait, give it a second, see how the water comes out. If it maintains its dark color, don't drink it. But if you give it a few seconds, it starts to clear up, lets the tannins go, then you can then drink the water. It's actually been somewhat purified doing that as well. He's tried it with yucca, kind of the same concept, using yucca to purify it. You can also do it with pine heartwood. So heartwood from a pine tree, and you can actually use that as kind of a makeshift water filter. So plants will definitely can help you in that respect for purifying things.
Is there any vine that's milky?
Yes. If you don't want to drink that either. Some of them are good to go, but if you're not sure, which you won't be, just if it's milky or dark colored or anything like that, just let it go. If it turns clear, you're good. With vines at least. What about cactus? Can you drink stuff from cactus?
Yeah.
You can. You can, absolutely. There are poisonous ones though, so if you don't know, don't do it. There are some cactuses out here in this specific area. If we see them, I'll show you. And what you can do is you cut them open, you get to the inner core, and you put that in a t-shirt, something like that, and squeeze the water out. Now, I personally feel that that is way too much effort, and you're going to expend as much water doing that as you would get from it. But it's another option available to you. And if we see any of those cactus, I'll point out actually how to actually. All right, ice is the I in DAVISS. So, obviously freshwater ice, we already kind of talked about that. You want to melt it first, filter it, then purify it. Self-explanatory, good to go. Even if it's really high elevation, if you have the capability to purify it, do that, right? Not that it would ever snow in LA, for example, but that is a hugely polluted atmosphere. If something got up in the sky over there and moved to the mountains, and then you ingested that, it may not hit you then, but when you get cancer in 5 years, that's not good, obviously. So purify it if you have the chance. Now, if it's sea ice, God forbid you ever get trapped in a sea ice environment, if it's clear or blue, it's actually probably fresh water, more fresh, because what's happened over time is the pressure from those huge icebergs actually press the salinity out of it. So you know, you look at saltwater ice, it's cloudy. That's why I say clear. Blue would be because it's actually reflecting blue from the sky. So if it's clear or blue, you're good to go. Try to break some pieces off as well. If it breaks off rounded or crushes easily, kind of like the ice in your fridge, you're good to go because it's fresh. If it has jagged corners, it's got salt in it because it's a crystalline structure. Salt is, that is. So when you break it, it's going to be jagged edges. The 2 S's, the first one is surface. So I'm not going to tell your intelligence, that's a lake, river, stream, something like that. Something else you can do is actually dig seeps. Not necessarily digging yourself a well, but a seep, right? What you're trying to do when you accomplish digging the seep to get water is you're digging down to the water table. So if I'm trying to dig a seep here, like right here, I would have to go all the way probably down to the level of that river. That'd be pretty dumb for me to do that because I just go to the river, but that's what you have to do. Now, my last duty station before I came to San Diego was Florida. I could hit the water table there when I was mowing my lawn, so that would be a good place to dig a seep. The S is going to be subsurface, so like an already existing well, cistern, a cave, something like that. Just something under the, under the surface of the earth where you get water. It's pretty self-explanatory.